Hello and welcome to the Legends of Tabletop podcast. We're going to be playing Deadlands tonight. I don't know why I forgot. We were just talking about cowboy stuff for the last half an hour before we got on, but that's just the way that it goes. So we're going to do character and player introductions. And John, go ahead, take it away. Oh, John's muted. Oh, no, here he is.
Not anymore. Yeah, no, I'm trying to multitask. Okay. My name is John, but I'll be playing Cyrus Roald Templeton the third. I'm third generation explorer. I'm just looking for my next paycheck, basically. But we're gonna get
damn dogs.
Mind my animals. This is great. Anywho, that's who I am, and I'm just looking for my next job.
I'm Jim, and I will be playing Johnathan P. Young, son of a successful businessman from Philadelphia, in the Asian American community there. And I have come west seeking fortune, adventure, and whatever else I can find while I'm here. I've been fascinated with the West and the writings, the newspapers, the stories that always come back to the East. So I'm here to see it for myself.
I'm Jesse. I'm playing Jacob Hancock. He is a former kind of ne'er-do-well street thug person that was unwillingly blessed by the left hand of God and is now a servant to his cause, taking out anybody who needs taking out.
And this is John, and I will be playing this Lester Boyd. And I come looking for the man that done killed my wife. That's it.
I'm Neil. I'm running the game. Are you going to do that voice the whole time? You think you have that in you, buddy?
I reckon I probably will.
Just really curious if that. I feel like an hour in, you'd be like, "This is a poor choice." Oh, that's real gravelly. That's real gravelly. So
I can't say I couldn't say that it wouldn't be vacillating a little bit. It might come and go.
yeah, that makes sense. You may have. I ran some previous games, so I'm back. I'm sorry to you, the listeners. So now you have to listen to me run insane games again with crazy things that happen. So you are starting out. This is Deadlands. It's a western in the Weird West where magic things have happened and there are not only true magic again in the world, but real evil that is corrupting the lands. We are using a probably very ill-advised modification of the setting, only because I never like to run things straight out of the box. I can't handle it. I have to do my own dumb things. So we're going to be sort of pre Deadlands Reloaded as far as like the time period, but we're going to use the Weird West rules just because they have been altered and edited and updated, and they're the nicest, newest, shiniest, prettiest rule set. So we're going to use that rule set, but this is actually going to be probably before most people would recognize the horrors that are sort of besetting the West. And the group finds themselves, all of you are sitting in you've made your way, however, you have chosen to Denver, Colorado, a city that is sort of a hub in the West. It is pretty calm comparatively to, say, Dodge City, which is sort of very rough and tumble. That's where, if you see the movie Tombstone and stuff like that, it was like Wyatt Earp, cracking heads, rustlers, thieves. Everyone who was anyone was going to Dodge City to start trouble. Denver's a little more calm. And just for the point of Deadlands, the setting, there are, quote, fear levels in the world. And the higher the fear level, the more corrupted the land is. So we'll get into all this. I don't want to do like a huge data dump, so we'll get into all that. But right now, Denver's pretty safe. Most people are maybe superstitious. They might have heard stories of sort of strange happenings or things like that. But for the most part, Denver is like the most normal city there that you're going to run into. Like, you might as well be at, New York or, Chicago. I guess Chicago isn't really in the list of, I don't think it's in a fear zone. The East is too settled. Unless you go to remote regions to really be affected. I don't know why. They just kind of just assume the East is fine. But the West Coast is sort of dangerous. So
they're too angry and urban, right? Like Philadelphia is settled, right? There's cities and stuff, right? Like so the magic can't seep in, right?
Yeah. So sort of the thing is, so for players versus characters, for players, essentially, the darkness has to be like plausibly deniable. It can't just be like, hey, I'm a monster and like ravage New York City, because then people would be like, oh, they're just monsters here. Like, let's go murder them all. And we would just murder them all. So it has to be sort of like a little like cat and mousey, like a horror movie sort of, right? Where you have to be kind of hidden, kind of not. And so, the goal is to corrupt the earth. And then you don't know why, but it's getting corrupted. Some places are much, much worse than others. In the setting, the Civil War is now... I actually am going to go with the Civil War is on basically ceasefire. We're not quite to the timeline in Deadlands where like they actually had like a peace accord and all that. So this is more just like a ceasefire. The Civil War never ended, so it is... later in the timeline, it's I don't know, we're gonna say around 1870-ish. So the Civil War has been going on and on. A mineral called Black Rock was discovered. This is probably all in Session 0 anyway. Ghost Rock, sorry, Black Rock. Ugh. Isn't that a mercenary group? Is that
Yeah.
Or is that the investing group? It's
that's the investing firm, I think.
That's right.
Or is that Blackstone? I can't. Yeah.
God, yeah, it's they're probably the same. Anyway,
yeah.
Anyway,
right.
So Ghost Rock was discovered. It's it's basically like super fuel. So there's now some sort of steampunk, fancy engineering based on that. It is not as common as straight up Deadlands setting would suggest. This is a little earlier on, but the Confederacy did get a hold of it, made some Ghost Rock based weapons, and that's how they sort of didn't get the tide turned on them in the standard history of the Civil War, and so that's why things held out a little longer. So there are people working with it. Mad science is a thing. But as soon as California sunk partially into the ocean, Ghost Rock was discovered in the maze, which is all of the pillars and plateaus and stuff in California. It's getting mined, but it's everywhere. They do find it everywhere. And that's now sort of the main commodity that it's instead of the gold rush, it's the Ghost Rock rush. And so there's a lot of opportunity. And so that's sort of what your characters know. You've heard crazy things. You don't know a ton about it. You find yourselves in an auditorium. This is the theater. This is where you would see a play or, a musical. Did they have musicals?
Bawdy Tales, women
maybe
in bustiers and,
Well, I was going to say cabaret, but I feel like it's classier than a cabaret. It's bigger than a cabaret, because cabarets are usually
that's vaudeville right there.
Yeah, this is
I'm like Blazing Saddles, right? With Madeline Kahn, she comes out all gussied up.
Right,
Yeah. So this is like a theater though, like theater seats, not like tables. you essentially at some point recently had received a card, a note, a flyer, expressing an opportunity to change your fortune, essentially, with this address and time listed. You've shown up because you're interested in seeing what this opportunity is about for whatever reasons you have. You're also everyone's sort of talking, blah, blah, blah. You hear sort of a man comes in. He's wearing a Union Army officer's uniform. He looks pretty stern and serious. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to an opportunity of a lifetime. My name is Colonel Carr B. White, and I'm here to tell you how you can change your fortunes and do some good for the world. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have a lot of questions about what exactly it is we'd have you be doing. Well, I'm going to give you a little bit of an idea, but let's just say this opportunity is to remain confidential for any of you who decide to stay. We have an opportunity to recruit some of you who are willing into a program to help settle the West, and in doing so, make it a safer, better place for all of our citizens. Not only that,
what do we get out of it?
Hold on. Don't get it. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But I'll say several people who you know from newspapers and local news from back home, back east, several successful entrepreneurs and let's just say successful business people, successful politicians have had their hands in some of these activities. All right. Well, that's what we'll talk about that. Here's what you can expect. Fair pay. Each month, signed, sealed, and delivered by the United States government, as well as an opportunity to enrich yourselves in other ways. I will say this, though. None of this opportunity comes without a cost. This is dangerous work. The West is a dangerous place, and it's not just gunslingers, cattle rustlers, but I'm sure you've heard some of the stories. This place is wild, and that's why we need your help. What we're asking is for those of you interested to become part of this program. You will essentially be recruits. If you succeed and do a good job, you'll be brought into our organization, which includes exceptionally better pay, access to resources, and some additional benefits that we will discuss should you complete your introductory period. However, once you are in this opportunity, you are not able to get out until we say so. It is a 1-year commitment. If you are willing to join up today, at the end of that year, you can go free and clear on your own way, making whatever connections you've made within the organization, as well as be $1,000 richer. Which $1,000 is pretty, the average pay is like $20 a month. So it's a big amount of money. You're free and clear. 1 year, that's all we ask. If you'd like to choose beyond that and make a commitment like I have, you'll receive even greater rewards, not to mention the ability to retire quite comfortably. And by retire, I mean essentially do whatever you would like afterwards. That's if you do a good job. But if you run any deserters after this opportunity has been divulged, will be hunted down, unfortunately, and hanged. We're dealing with some very, very secretive information here, and you will be subjected to information that cannot be disclosed to the general public easily. So I'm giving everyone a chance right now. This is hard. I'll give any questions you might have. I'm happy to answer them. In the meantime, if you have if you're hesitant at all, the door is right there. We hold nothing against you. You're more than happy to leave this auditorium. No harm, no foul. And you can even get a drink on us at the saloon. Do we have any questions before we break in to our groups?
We getting a drink after?
If you sign up, it's an open tab tonight.
I reckon I might.
It's on us.
Still.
Cyrus stands up and just starts walking to wherever it is to sign up.
Okay. If no one asks any question, there's a couple people that raise hands and ask about, like the danger. He does make it sound very serious. Some people just kind of get out, like they just walk out. They're like, this is, sounds crazy, too good to be true. People are sort of like, this is just some hokum, blah, 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 blah. Everyone signs up. They essentially hand you a number. They give you a location with that number. They sort of have little groups broken off into various rooms in the building. Yeah. You go to essentially a dressing room for whoever the star is of the show. There's a dressing room big enough that the four of you could fit in. I don't know if you want to enter. Like, you are essentially a person who is not in charge, just like a usher type person. Like an usher takes you and shows you where you are. You're shown into your room. There's nothing in there that's like from this organization or anything. It's literally just the dressing room with some chairs for you.
Yeah. Jacob will sit in a chair almost immediately and just kind of like man spreaded with his arms like elbows on his knees, head down. And he's just like, Lord, you really brought me in to deal with these hucksters in order to do some bidding, because this is some bullshit.
Do you have a collar on? I mean, do you look like a priest?
Oh, no. No, I mean, he doesn't look like a priest. Although, you know what? I'd say half and half. So he probably has, like, the collar, but, like, the top few it's like a V-neck button. So he has it unbuttoned and the collar undone, so it's just kind of hanging there. It's like they forced him to wear it. So he's got like that, and he's got like the black brim hat on. So he looks like he maybe is like either like a really lax priest or like he killed one and stole his shit.
So Johnathan, I found my way to the room. I stopped, kind of look at the number, look at the door. He's carrying his hat. He's got it off because the gentleman removes their hat indoors.
That's going to be fun.
And opens the door to the room, and he sees the chairs. And he walks in, and he finds an empty chair. And he kind of looks around the room, and he's like, "Say good day to you, gentlemen. If no one minds, I'll take this seat." And he kind of sits down. He's dressed like he's straight from Philadelphia. He's like in a 3-piece suit.
Wow.
He's wearing cowboy boots, but they don't have a lot of dust on them. And like I said,
just what he picked up from the stagecoach to the theater.
Oh, sure. Like they were definitely bought in the West. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And that like the hat he's still a little uncomfortable with. Like you see as he's holding it, like the shape doesn't like he's not used to holding like the shape of a cowboy hat. It's kind of like the gambler, like the flat topped hat. But he sits down in the chair and kind of waits for everyone else to get here.
Son, are you sure that this is a thing you might be interested in? Your boots look they ain't never been shined, never been dirtied.
Well, I mean, they are new, absolutely. But, I mean, I was told that, and I've read that this is the place, the West, right? This is where you come to, you know, to make something of yourself. And he kind of like, he unbuttons his jacket as he sits down, and he's wearing what looks like a gun belt, but there's no gun in it. Like he's got it, like on one side, he's got like a knife, like nothing, it's not huge, it's not like a Bowie knife. It's kind of small, just a dagger. And on the other side, you can see poking around the side what looks like a tomahawk.
Yeah, Jacob will finish rolling up a cigarette, and he'll say, "Yes, this might be a really good place if y'all want to die. But yeah, sure, if you survive, then definitely there's something to make out of yourself." And then light the cigarette, take a nice big drag of it.
Cyrus puts away a set of matches. He was going to go light your cigarette for you, but then when he saw that you lit it, he just puts it away. Just says, "Hey man, I reckon like they just out there that if you didn't want to be here, you don't have to stay here." And sure as shit, they're gonna do this out here, out west here. You can make something of yourself. You'd be damn sure that out here is gonna make something of you. So if you're hanging around here, you're in.
Johnathan kind of beams. He's like, "Oh, well then, excellent. Then I think that I'm in the right place."
We'll see. And I light my own
shaking his head.
Cyrus would notice that, and I'll turn to him and say, "Hey, so why? You know, it doesn't seem like a place you want to be. So why'd you stay?"
And Jacob will just take another drag, and then point up.
Cyrus looks up.
Really? Hey, Riv, it looks like your collar done come undone.
Oh,
Sure
man,
has.
You got one of them preacher collars. Cyrus sits down and kind of looks at you, sort of like mimics your man spreadish stance. And just, so what's the story with that?
God's will, that's all that'll do it.
All right. Testing you.
Every once
Putting
in a
me up for
while,
a
you
test.
know, you hear the calling, gotta go to it, whether you want to or not. And he'll like give a little glance up and then.
I can respect that. I mean, we seem to all be in this together now.
You reckon they got us all in here together for any particular reason? I mean, the four of us, I'm saying.
I mean, it seems to be random. I can't pick anything out that would link us together right now.
Well, in my experience, the level of secrecy and the sort of 1 year commitment situation they got going there, breaking that being hanging. No. They did something for a very particular reason, to be sure of that.
When you say hanging again, I get a look. Like, I don't say anything, but I mean, I don't know if you have to make an insight or whatever, but he looks a little uncomfortable.
I think I would notice that. Unless, Neil, you want me to roll something, I think I would. I mean, I'm
think you
around,
can.
trying
I
to
think
size
you're
these
all.
guys up.
I think if it was noticeable enough for him to mention it, I think if you're paying attention, you would have noticed it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking. I'm looking at him.
Yeah. You notice when you say that he kind of winces.
Lester, was it?
Yeah, Lester Boyd. And you
Lester
are?
Boyd, Oh, no, just Cyrus. I noticed you got yourself a look there when I mentioned that old hanging there as being a penalty for breaking this here contract. What's going on with that? What's going on with that look?
He grits his teeth a little bit when you say it again.
Grit your teeth all you want, Lester.
Says, "Look, I don't know you from Adam, So my business is my business.
Cyrus points to Jonathan. Goes, "Is that Adam?"
No, Jonathan. He's saying,
Oh.
like, points to himself.
Jonathan?
Jonathan. Yes,
Okay,
Jonathan.
Lester, who's Adam?
Yeah.
Is the preacher Adam? Who's Adam?
I guess we just call him Rev.
Rev is good. I like that.
Heck no. Name's Jacob. You can leave it at that.
Now I forgot, by the way, I have to, for listeners, I have to pay attention because anytime he sins, he gets penalized and can't use powers as well. So if he says goddamn or anything like that, I gotta know to be like, penalty. God doesn't like it. God doesn't like that.
That's so
He
good.
is bound as a blessed to have very particular rules. So, yes.
Yep.
I think Cyrus would turn back to Lester and say, I mean, we don't have to know each other too well to work well together.
I reckon that's a fair point. He grabs a thing of whiskey.
Cyrus reaches for the whiskey after you take a sip.
Yeah, if they put a bottle in the room, I mean, I guess if there's no bottle in the room, I don't know.
Well, I was waiting
no,
for you to
unless
hand it to me.
if you brought it or have it, yes. Otherwise, they wouldn't have put like a bottle of
Sure,
booze in there for you.
I'd have brought
There
one.
might be.
Fuck it.
There's. I would say there's like a pitcher of water.
All right.
Yeah, Lester
All right,
has
so
whiskey.
he drinks water. Some water.
I mean, there's really not a great like. You know, it's probably not best if you have a super dangerous opportunity that they're recruiting people for to be like, get boozed up while we're telling you what you should do. Yeah,
Jacob
so.
will
probably safe
Jacob
for
will
the
wave
water.
his hand over the pitcher of water, and then go, it still ain't happening, I guess. And
All right, so as you're chatting, a man sort of turns the corner, walks in the room. He is. I was gonna do that differently. Let's do. He is actually in. No, it makes more sense. Anyway, he's in a Union outfit as well. Lower rank. Does anyone have military knowledge or like would have known like ranks by any chance?
No.
Just
Would it
by-
be I guess that's not a common knowledge check, or would it be because the Civil War is like such
you could-
in the zeitgeist?
Common knowledge would be fine if you want to roll a check,
All right, sure.
All right.
First checks of the game.
just to see if you. Also, everyone, just give me a. What is the insight in this system?
Notice?
Would be
Yeah, give me a notice
I
check.
guess?
Yeah, give me a
And
notice.
notice
check.
is one of those like skills that everybody seems to have.
Yeah, you get it by default
Yeah.
because it's such a common skill.
So you just roll whatever your dice is for that chat for notice, right?
Correct.
Yep.
So whatever
Plus a d6.
Two?
plus
Yes.
plus a
like,
D6.
okay.
Yep, plus a d6.
Oh, it's
Yep,
always
there's your
a
wild
D6.
die. Yep,
Okay,
yep,
gotcha.
always a d6. Yep.
So my high is 5.
Okay, you need a 4 or better.
Okay.
Typically.
Got a 4.
That's the standard. Yeah.
I hit 4 too. Cyrus at 4.
1.
Okay.
Your highest is 1. Did you roll double ones?
I rolled double ones.
I don't
Good
know if
way
it
to start
matters
the
for this
game.
Check, but
Just get out of the way early.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Technically, that's a crit fail. There's really no. I want to be like you fell asleep, but that seems like you wouldn't have done that. I really wish like, you nodded off.
Taking a
God
nice long
smites
drag off the cigarette.
Yeah, like you're in your own head. You don't even notice the guy come
Yeah.
in. Like you kind of get startled when he like
Yeah.
starts talking.
Yep,
Looking at the
Michael
ceiling.
started talking to me about some bullshit.
Yep. when he does come in, Jonathan will stand up.
Oh,
what
okay.
What did you roll, Jim?
I had a 4.
4.
4. Okay.
Yep. So anyone who got 4 or better, you notice he is wearing a Union outfit as well. In this case, he does have the top button unbuttoned, which is overly casual for someone in an officer's uniform. And you also recognize that because of his stripes or the chevrons on his jacket, he is slightly lower ranked. He is not a colonel. whoever got the highest. Did John get the? Is
I have
Lester a
5.
5? Doing it better than 5?
You want me to roll?
No. I think you're you. Oh yeah, do a common knowledge. Yeah.
I think that's also 2d6. Let me check my sheet real quick.
You would notice it's lower rank, but you may not know the rank. It doesn't matter. He'll tell you, but I like to go through some rolls in.
I got a 4.
Okay. He's a lieutenant.
Okay.
And again, that's like sort of the first level officer, right? But still, that's even weirder because a colonel was just there talking to you, and a lieutenant's like not fully buttoned up, straight laced, which is sort of not the norm. Gentlemen, at ease. He waves a hand at Johnathan.
Jonathan's the only one standing up.
Yep. Yep.
Tip the brim of my hat because I'm
Cyrus
leaning
is
up
just
against the
staring
wall.
at him. Nice.
Well, I just have to say I am happy to meet all of you. Let's see. We have Lester. That would be you, sir, correct?
Yep, he runs the finger along the brim of his hat. Nods his head.
Cyrus.
Nods. Cyrus nods.
I take it you are Johnathan
Yes, indeed, sir.
and Jacob.
You know, tip his cap.
All right. Well, we're all here and accounted for. And I am happy to say, welcome to the opportunity of a lifetime. He closes the door. I know it all sounds very mysterious, but we have to be a little careful. We are dealing with unusual times right now. And I will let you know right away, we are not a military organization per se. We have a number of military officers and enlisted men who are part of our ranks, but let's just say we operate outside the normal channels of the military, of law enforcement, and in some cases have to go outside the law to achieve our goals. Now, what are those goals? Those goals are very simple. Stop the unusual darkness befalling the West. That is why leaving this organization after this meeting results in a hanging. You are going to be privileged to knowledge that the general person, the lay person, is not aware of. And your goal with this organization is to help us put an end to some of these challenges that the people of the West are facing. These challenges sound like fairy tales. They sound like campfire stories. But I will assure you, gentlemen, they are quite real. Just because Denver looks like a happy, pleasant place, it can be dangerous. Not as dangerous as some of the other parts of the West. California, you don't go there without something more than just a 6-shooter. You better have 2. And that's a minimum.
That ain't
But
gonna
we're here-
help you against no earthquake or whatever happened out there.
Oh, there's worse than earthquakes, my friend. Maze dragons? Have you heard of maze dragons?
Maze dragon.
I'm
what is
sorry.
that?
Did you say dragon?
Yeah. I mean, not like the King Arthur kind or whatever stories you have, but you know, giant lizards, mean as hell.
Johnny,
never
don't
seen them
you-
before.
Don't you worry about it. It sounds like it's just made up about a bunch of corn, so we can just heat it up and then eat it like popcorn. It's no big deal.
Not that kind of M-A-Z-E, not M-A-I-Z-E. Different maze. Don't worry about it. So
Right,
I'm your
you
handler.
putting us on. You're saying that there's a actual dragon.
Well, I mean, not the fire-breathing kind, but you know, a giant lizard beast that no one saw in the West before that earthquake happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, I mean, you don't have to believe me, but perhaps seeing will convince you. Let me pull. Get a quick.
He pulls out his phone, goes to Google real quick.
I know.
Yeah.
He's like, what? Let me show you.
I
I'll
wanted to
tell you
mention when this guy mentions the hanging part again, Cyrus makes a point to look at Lester to see if he still reacts. to it.
He pushes himself up off the wall and kind of crosses his arms.
All right.
Okay.
Making notes about my new friend Lester Boyd.
He is going to. Sorry, I'm going a little bit between books here because there's quite a few different.
I mean, we're only using like 3 different books.
I know it doesn't cause problems at all. You see, the guy sort of like mouths a few words, and does sort of a little sleight of hand looking gesture, and a fireball literally like shoots out of his hand and hits like a poster on the wall and catches it on fire.
I step back into the wall and my hand immediately drops down to my pistol. I don't pull it.
Sure.
What in the
Jacob
hell
just
was
takes
that?
another long
damn,
drag
Lieutenant.
off his cigarette.
No, there's no danger. I just want to prove to you sometimes there's more to the situation than meets the eye.
What are you?
Well, I guess they used to call me. Well, there's a lot of names for me. Very derogatory, but these days they call me a huckster. Let's just say ever since that earthquake, I have developed a numerable set of powers that literally I could not believe. But as you can see, I can control them. I can control them on will. These things are real, sir, and they are dangerous, and we need people like you's help.
Well, I can't be pulling no fire from my fingers. How come you don't go and do it your damn self?
Oh, I have. I've been on the trails. I was in charge of a scouting cavalry unit, and we ran into a lot of problems here and there. Creatures, people with unusual personalities and unusual abilities. And we started reporting it back. And then the brass got a hold of me. And that's why I'm here now. My job is to get more people like me, or just people. Heck, I'll tell you what. If you're good enough with a gun, you can face down pretty much anything out there if you're good enough with it. And that's what we're hoping for.
If I put a bullet in you, you die then?
Oh, I am certain that I would. But you'd have to quick draw that a hell of a lot faster than I set you alight. And I'm not sure I would take that bet if I were you.
And he like looks him up and down and then like slowly takes his hand away from his pistol because I don't want to be set on fire.
He's like, oh, you like literally doesn't like, there's nothing. He flips out of seemingly nowhere an ace out of his, like just magically sort of flips toward you, like sees you see it in his hand, and then he flicks it towards you, and he's like, you hold on to that. That'll bring you good luck one day.
All right there, Lieutenant Colonel. You're doing a lot. You're raising the temperature in this here room, both figuratively and literally. So why don't you just
I believe
get down
he's a lieutenant. If I might, he's a little bit lower ranked than the guy
That is correct. Yes, I am a lieutenant, not lieutenant colonel. Yes.
Whatever your rank is, why don't you just get right down to? I mean, I've seen your dragons that you speak of. Of course, we're going to need a little bit more than I think most of us actually have. So I think that it's probably a good time to let us know what you expect of us.
Absolutely. Well, this is let's just say, well, the 1 year you can be promoted ahead of time if you do a good job. If you succeed, you will be rewarded, obviously, with $1,000. But in the meantime, we do expect you to have successful missions along the way. I will be your handler. And as the first mission, unfortunately, I'm going to have you investigate the disappearance of one of my sergeants. I sent him on a routine welfare check of a local town that we had heard stories that there was some sort of wasting disease that was affecting a number of the population. The town is called Terry's Ford. It's about 2.5 days ride from here. I'll need you to go there. We have heard no word from my sergeant. Not only that, he's been gone 2 weeks now. About a week ago, I sent another rider there to check on him, and he did not come back.
So hold on a minute. You knew there was a problem, and you sent one man to go and investigate a whole town?
Oh no,
and then
he
you
had
sent another one, and he didn't come back?
Well, I sent a squad of men, including, mind you, well-educated and agency. That's what we call ourselves around here, the agency. An agency-employed doctor with him. Now, the sergeant is quite capable. He was one of my best men. He also had 5 of his best men with him.
Well, did they come back?
No, we have heard no word from him nor the scout I sent to get word.
Well,
I am concerned. Needless to say, that's not only several good men on our side, but we have reason to believe that if something strange is happening, that we will need to diffuse that situation as quickly as possible, considering if there is some strange goings on, it is far too close to Denver for comfort. So I will need you to deal with the situation. If the town is in some way either infected with a disease, you can do whatever you see fit, quarantine, we can get doctors, but it must not spread. And if you deem it necessary, you can do what is necessary to end any situation however you see fit.
So what you're saying is we got to either heal him or kill him.
Yeah, that's about it, Reverend. That's about it.
So that feels like two
Jacob.
very... That seems like two very ends of the extreme.
Unfortunately, sir, when we're dealing with these phenomenon, we're often dealing in cases of black and white. Now, sure, there's gray areas, but the solution is usually one side of that coin or the other. Fix it or end it.
And you sent a whole squad of experienced people to go out, and now you want to you tell us there's monsters and then just want to send us out all willy-nilly to investigate? What else can you tell us about this?
Well, what
sorry,
would you like to
Johnathan.
know?
Didn't
No,
mean to cut
no.
you off there, son.
No. I mean, it's a valid question, sir. I mean, Lieutenant, if they couldn't handle the situation, what is it about us that all of a sudden makes you think that we're going to be more capable?
Well, for one, you're not bound by the parameters of the military. Now, I sent them. Actually, did I say? I'm trying now. I might have to retcon that, but I sent them under orders of the U.S. Army. They were simply there to fact find. Once we know there is the possibility of strange phenomenon, then we are in this case able to act. You are able to act a little more freely. But not only that, we have to know whether you have what it takes to succeed in this mission, in this role. If you want to be full-fledged members of the agency, then you have to show your ingenuity. And I believe, based on our reconnaissance, that you all have the skills necessary to handle these strange and unusual situations. And my hope is that you will take this opportunity to help us solve this problem. Now, nothing has come to Denver yet. And I will say, we were not allowed to share this level of classified information with the sergeant and his men. They were simply thinking it was a standard disease outbreak. I no longer believe that to be the case. Or else one of them would have come back. They had proper quarantine measures. They had a fully fledged physician. I can't see why that would have happened if something strange isn't going on.
So I turn to look at Jacob and I say, well, Padre, what does a good book say about killing monsters? Is that a sin?
I don't feel as though I ain't getting any bad signs from the man up above, so I think this might be okay.
Well, I reckon you'll tell us if we overstep the line then.
Oh, no, you can overstep as much as you want. Don't worry about it.
As long as you provide absolution.
I guess the question might be for you, though, Jacob, is if the time comes to step over that line, are you willing to step over that line with us? Pardon me.
Who let that damn dog in here?
Letting dogs in this place. Huh?
So there's a nice establishment, letting the hound in.
Felix, I'm sorry. We're allowed to. I found this mongrel out on the plains. He was lost. He comes with me everywhere. I apologize, but quiet you. He hasn't quite learned the manners of a right military dog, if you know what I mean.
No, Jacob will take one last drag off his cigarette and then throw it on the ground and kind of snuff it out with his toe. And then I'll look right at Cyrus and say, you know what they say, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than ask for the rest of that. You know what I mean?
Is what you're looking for there, Padre.
And then he'll just like laxly cross himself and then start rolling up another cigarette.
I do appreciate how laxly you gave yourself the sign of the cross there. It really drove home the point, and I feel a lot more comfortable with being next to you in a fight. And he hands you a pre-rolled cigarette, so you don't have to make your own.
Ooh.
I feel as if I might be overdressed for this conversation, and he reaches up and he unbuttons his top button.
Oh, yeah, Cyrus unbuttons his top button, too.
And then we all turn our heads and look at Johnathan.
He somehow finds another button to button.
Yeah, we all look at him, though.
But he definitely straightens his tie. And is like, so, yes, Lieutenant, so then is our primary objective the town or to find your man?
The primary objective is to neutralize whatever threat might be present. That's the ultimate goal. Any preservation of life is appreciated. Now, the Reverend brings up a good point. In your cases, as in ours, it is better to ask forgiveness. than permission. And with that, well, of course, if any of you are ranking individuals of law enforcement or the military, without me knowing, then go ahead and feel free to stand up and say so right now. But I don't think you are. You are civilians, unfortunately, asking that we are asking to complete these missions, and obviously we have resources to help you should you get into trouble with any locals. However, it would be best for you to keep as much under the radar as possible. The agency is not a recognized authority, and therefore we have no badges. We have no way to strong arm, say, a local sheriff or marshal who's causing you a bit of trouble. You'll have to handle those things yourselves. However, you can also operate outside of the standard rules in that case. So, in some cases, it's whatever you need to do to get the job done, and we can, of course, disavow all knowledge of any of your activities should we need to.
Are you telling us that we should kill the sheriff if the sheriff interferes in our operations?
Absolutely not. I would suggest you negotiate first. I'm just saying if a sheriff is going to hang you and it's between you and him and, well, I mean, right now, maybe the sheriff's more valuable to us, but, you know, you show your you show your value. Perhaps we can smooth over the accidental death of a town marshal if you happen to need to. Obviously, that is a very regrettable instance, and we highly dissuade you from such activities. We also cannot guarantee that you will not be wanted or that the news can be completely covered up. That's potentially within our capabilities, but you don't know. Let's just say the better you can act within the law, the better. But if you have to act outside the law, it is the West, and gosh darn it, things happen.
Is this incorporated land here? Is this under the jurisdiction of the United States government, or are they still left out in the winds?
Well, technically we're in Colorado, so it is part of the United States government. I guess that probably brings me to another point that I should perhaps enlighten you on. We don't really see a huge difference right now between the United States government and the Confederated States of America.
What's your meaning there?
The agency operates between both governments in a known cooperation at the highest levels. Again, mention this to anyone, that's a hanging. But
I'd appreciate you stop saying that. I know you might be your preferred method of punishment. But
he pulls out like a set of papers and he reads through and he's like, "My apologies, Mr. Boyd."
And then he just dips his head ever so slightly.
Let's just say you letting this information out, it's quite sensitive, but the United States government and the Confederated States have decided to put aside past grievances in order to address this greater threat. And hence the agency is able to work between both. So there are agents like myself from the Union Army. There are agents operating in the Confederated territory that also share our goals, along with, let's say, the Texas Rangers. So, you may find allies in strange places. You may not necessarily think that some allies will be on your side based on where you are or are not from. But let's just say we have a very diverse network of agents working to secure the West for everyone's good.
If we may take just a step back for a moment, when we go and investigate this situation or any other situation, how is it that we are supposed to determine if there is some, like air quotes, supernatural a monster in play? If there is some sort of maybe a person such as yourself who is perhaps working for the other side, how would we determine that?
Lester,
Now,
I do
Mr.
appreciate
Boyd, you did
saying
hear him
air
mention the dragon, right?
I did. I guess a dragon would stand out as something that would be quite unusual. But if it is just a man, how would we make that determination? What sort of things should we be looking for?
Very good question.
Thank you, sir.
Lieutenant?
Typically, I would say well, you can still solve a problem, supernatural or not, if they simply seem to be a megalomaniac or some kind of psychopath. It doesn't matter if he's a real monster or a figurative monster. You can still do what needs to be done. I will say I was asked a few times back by a enterprising gentleman who also asked me, how do I know when I see a monster? And I said, well, I don't know. Sounds a lot like whenever you ask me something about public indecency. I can't give you a definition, but I know it when I see it. And I'm just going to tell you, when you see a monster, you'll know it when you see it. These things are not subtle, typically. Although I will say the more dangerous they are, the more subtle. You may not be able to tell. But I don't think we're not really sending you into any place that we know of that's too dangerous yet.
And Jacob will also kind of look around at the other three right now, and he'll tip his hat up slightly. Say, well, I know that you have been talking about why they placed the four of us together. And he'll take out one of his revolvers and just kind of, hand off the trigger, but kind of hold it up. And you can actually see like a cross etched into the handle of it. And it's very kind of intricate, like leaf work up towards the barrel. And as he holds it up, the cross and then all of the etching actually starts to glow slightly. And he says, I do believe that if we come across any evil ne'er-do-wells, that we might be able to go ahead and figure out what they are.
I knock my hat up so it's up, sticking up over my head. So I'll be damned. We got one of you, Lieutenant, just amongst our own group here.
Yeah,
Well,
I think Cyrus, I get a shit-eating grin. I get a shit-eating grin. I go, well, there we go. That explains that. That's going to be our magica, so to speak.
Hell, Padre, you're the first Reverend I seen with a 6-shooter on his side. No one as special as that.
And he'll then actually reach down and like spin it and pull out both of them, and he has a matching set. And then he takes it, spins them back down, puts them.
I'll be. He pulls his hat back down.
Now, some of you probably don't have horses. Am I correct?
You would be correct.
I got my horse is stable down in the stable. Daisy, she's a good old horse.
Oh, you got your horse stabled out there too? Yeah, I got my own Greta down there. She's down there as well. Look at you.
I'll be.
Johnny, a fancy boy like you don't got no horse? I can't believe that.
Well, I've only been off the train for a couple of days, and to be honest, I'm not very familiar with the animals. I was waiting to see exactly what this opportunity was going to be, and I guess now as mode of transportation has become the topic of discussion, I'm assuming that we'll be riding to this Dairies Ford, Lieutenant.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, this time, yes. Now, the open plains can be a dangerous place, so I don't recommend that if you don't have to go that way. But unfortunately, in this case, we don't have a lot of options. There's not a rail or a coach line. It's a small town. Their goal was to set up a mine somewhere near there, and I don't think it ever took off. So it kind of just languished. But don't worry. We'll get y'all a horse on loan, one from our stable, in order to make yourselves comfortable down there. If you don't return, then I guess we'll take that as a loss. But when you get back, please return them to our care. I would recommend you take the rails or a coach if possible. They're faster and significantly more reliable than the planes.
Cyrus wraps an arm around Jonathan's shoulder, a filthy, dirty hand on his shoulder. That says, "Don't you worry about nothing there, Jonathan. We'll get you used to them horses so very quickly. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love bouncing up and down on that saddle."
He kind of looks over at the hand, and he kind of like, it's a weak smile, but it's a smile. I was like, of course, yes. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, right? Like you're an experienced rider. Everyone out here. Good to know.
Every single one of us, son. We're all experienced riders out in the West.
I give you a shit-eating wink.
At this point, he's like, if you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. I'm sure one of them might be, well, what's our reward? He looks at Boyd. Let's just say we are a generous employer. And so here's your start with a signing bonus. And he hands you each a fresh, crisp $20 bill.
Ooh. Hot damn.
Jacob at first says, well, now the only reward I need is the reward of the good Lord. But at the same time, this $20 will go a lot far in getting me to where I need to go, and he'll go ahead and take it.
And not to mention, this evening, use my name at the saloon. It's open bar. It's a great question. Hold on. What is his name?
I was afraid to say anything, but now that you mentioned it.
William Barrett. Lieutenant William Barrett.
Let me just type that up right over here in my little...
Make a note. It will get you free drinks at the saloon this evening. One night only opportunity. But no, you're expected to ride out at sunup. So don't go too hard.
And your sergeant, do we have a description or a name for him as well?
Yeah, his name, Sergeant Samuel Reynolds. He is good guy, younger guy. Barrett's probably 40. Pretty straight laced. Well put together hair. Even though he does have sort of the unbuttoned top couple buttons, so sort of relaxed, but looks like he's definitely prim and proper otherwise. Samuel, he's a good fellow. The men loved him. Very responsible. Took his job quite seriously. One of the best at drills and field exercises that I ever known. He's got sort of sandy blonde hair, a little heavier set, put on a little bit of weight. Since he's been out here and off the marches, so to speak, a little bit too much of the saloon time and a little less marching than usual. But last I saw, he has a beard, heavier set gentleman, should be wearing a Union outfit. theoretically with 5 other Union soldiers with him. The doctor, his name is Lance Cassidy. He was, I don't know, your same old general doctor type. 50-so-year-old, salt and pepper hair, well-spoken, went to too much damn school to really know much of anything, I think. But we were supposed to send him just to see what he could find out.
Neil, I'm sorry. His last name is Barrett, our handler.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, did we get his first name?
Is it William Barrett? Is that who developed the Barrett?
Yeah, William Barrett. Yeah.
So sorry. I'm so bad.
I was like, is that who developed the Barrett? I was like, is that who developed the Barrett freaking 50 cal or something? Because it was a generated name, so I don't know.
Actually, I got the chance to shoot one a couple of years ago.
Oh, really?
It gives you a shove.
I can't imagine how hard that thing kicks.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Any other questions for me before you ride out? It's he gives you a map. There's a map. X marks the spot. It's southwest of little bit southwest of Denver. There's Terry's Ford. There's a little dot on the map. It's about it looks like 2.5 days ride-ish, 2 days, 2.5 days, depending on how fast you go. So yeah, that's basically.
We don't want to go too fast, or else we might upset Johnny's backside.
I guess, but if nobody has anything, like before he leaves, I think I pull him to the side, or maybe follow him out, so like just outside the door into the hallway. But
sure.
But if anybody has stuff.
I think I'm good.
Going to the saloon.
Yep.
Okay, so maybe if we all walk out, then like I grab his shoulder, not like his elbow, as we're all sort of walking out.
Sure.
He says, "If I might have a moment."
Absolutely. Speak freely.
I noticed you looking at some papers when I made my request to you. What is that all about? It seems like you have a little bit more information about me than I have about you.
Yeah, we wouldn't be a very good extra. We wouldn't be a very good secret agency if we didn't have dossiers on all of those we have working for us now, would we? Our intelligence network is very widespread.
So I guess the me getting this information to show up here today was no coincidence then.
It should not have been, no.
Well, all right. I mean, I know we have to sign up here for a year's service here. But then I guess you may know that I am on the lookout for the man that killed my wife. And if I find him, I will chase him.
He claps you on the shoulder and looks you very like sincerely in the eyes. I wouldn't ask for anything else.
Well, I reckon then we'll have to deal with consequences of whatever may come when that comes then.
I'm not sure you're ready for that sort of challenge at the moment, but when the time comes, we will not stand in your way.
So what would be the insight for that? Like that, like what the fuck does that mean? Is it just notice?
You don't have any like I guess notice.
Skill.
Yeah, notice I think is fine.
Okay. It's going to be a 4. I don't know if that's an opposed thing or.
You get a sense. No, I mean, he's not trying to lie. So, no, not really an opposed. I would say it seems like he clearly knows something about your past or what you're looking for. And it seems like he has an idea, at least, that it's not a guy, most likely. You don't know more than that, but it seems like he definitely knows more about it than he is. Like, he's not divulged anything, but
yeah.
You get a sense he knows about what you're looking for or who you're looking for to some degree.
So I think I squint a little bit and I say, is there something that you need to be telling me?
Not yet, but trust me, as soon as I know, I'll come right to you.
If you know the sumbitch that killed my wife, you better tell me right now, because I got a debt to settle.
He takes his hands off your shoulder, and he's like, "I do not, sir." And you can do a notice if you want to roll a notice.
Notice again. 5 this time.
He's not lying. You get the impression he doesn't. Like, if he doesn't actually know, he's like, I do not know. But as soon as I find something, I'll tell you. You get the fact that you think he's being genuine.
So I hold his gaze for a long minute, and then just like a very short nod. He says, all right, I'm gonna get on over to the saloon, catch up with the rest of my team. Appreciate the drink. And he just, 2-finger salute off the edge of the hat.
All things in time, Mr. Boyd. All things in time. And he just struts sort of away toward the back.
Yeah, I don't say anything. I just keep walking. And I'll make my way over to the saloon.
Okay. The saloon is freaking hopping because there were probably at least 30 people total in that theater that didn't leave. And most of them are showing up here for free drinks. So it's a pretty wild scene. I mean, Denver's not a small town. By the time you've met, done everything, it's 5, 6 p.m. So it's a good time. There are people playing cards. There's the piano player. Everyone is just there's saloon girls. It's just a wild party. And obviously everyone that was in the theater with you also has a fresh, crisp $20 bill in their pockets to really have at it. So not only do they have money from, free money, but they also have free drinks. So people are already starting to get tipsy.
Okay, I think now that he's gone, right? I think that Lester walks in to Jacob and Cyrus holding Jonathan's legs in the air as he does the United States' very first keg stand. Jonathan, nothing's going on. Everything's fine.
Jacob will have made like a beeline for the saloon. And so by the time Lester comes in, Jacob is at the far end of the bar, like right towards the end of it, with a double shot of whiskey right in front of him. But he's just like hands crossed, like elbows on the bar, like head down, just sniffing the drink. But like and he has at the same time just the most saddened look on his face.
Oh man!
I'll bite. Cyrus bites. I'll sidle right up to you. Just hey man, what's that about there? What are you doing there, Jacob? You gonna take a shot with me?
Oh, I ain't doing nothing there, Cyrus. He just kind of looks at Cyrus and looks over his shoulder at all the people gambling. Looks at the ladies escorting other guys upstairs. Looks back down at the drink. Just I ain't doing nothing.
Well, I gotta say, and Cyrus takes the shot and shoots it. I gotta say, I do admire that. And then I put the shot that I had in front of you to sniff.
Oh,
All right. Well, now, do you want to tell me what that there fancy trick with that gun is?
ain't nothing but a blessing from the good Lord himself.
That's what you're sticking with?
That's what it is.
All right. Then I grab the shot and I take the other one.
There you go.
Then I order two more. I order two more. I put one in front of you.
I'll make my way down, make my way to the end of the bar. Kind of like he's kind of like moving through the crowd, just like sidestepping. Like at this point, you know, people are drunk and walking away from like falling all over the place. He's just like, yeah,
excuse me, pardon me. I'm sorry.
I believe you
That's
dropped.
my
No, nope. No. Yeah, sorry, ma'am. Makes it to the end of the bar, and he kind of like steps up and he like nods at both of you, and he reaches over. He's like, "I'm sorry, barkeep. Do you have a moment? If we could, some drinks under Lieutenant. Yes, Barrett. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
He, as you are pretending like he's completely not paying attention to you at all. Like there's people yelling at him, and he's just like slopping down freaking whiskeys and beers as fast as he can. There's a couple other folks helping, but yeah, as you're saying it, he does not respond at all.
That's all right there, Jonathan. Here you go. Take mine. I'll hand him mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
When Cyrus slides his to Jonathan, and then Jacob slides his to Cyrus.
Cyrus just nonchalantly just shoots it. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
I just hold up two fingers. Two fingers.
He kind of
Three
raises
fingers,
the toast, and he's so to new opportunities. Then, and as you like throw yours back, he's like, "Yeah, it's good, okay." And he takes the shot, puts the glass down.
Oh no!
Hey, where's Lester at? I changed my 3 to a 4.
At that moment, Lester comes in. He walks in, takes a look around, spies you guys, walks up to the bar, bangs on the top of the bar twice, bang, bang, barkeep.
We have 9 shots
Barkeep.
in front of us.
The guy, he gives you a solid nod back. Yeah, what do you want?
Bottle of whiskey, just leave it. It's on Barrett.
You see him pull a bottle out from under the bar, and it just he slides it straight down, full bottle, cork and all, not even opened yet, straight down to you.
Damn, Lester, that's a great damn idea.
You see him just marking off this guy is fucking time of his life. He's just marking every bottle. He's like, yes, this guy.
To be fair, Lester probably just saved this dude a lot of work too. He doesn't.
Yeah.
The first smart motherfucker to order a whole bottle.
Yeah, we're not paying for it.
You see a scraggly sort of Biff Tannen-y from the third Back to the Future, or is it Biff Tannen? No, it's the other Tannen, whatever the other Tannen was.
Yeah.
Sort of like grizzled type of guy, and he's like, you see him look, and his jaw drops for a second, and he's like, grabs as soon as the barkeep is in his reach, grabs him by the collar, and is like, damn you, give me a bottle. And then because he has glasses all around him, and he and all of his buddies, he has a couple folks with him, and he's like, it's on Barrett. And then the guy looks at him I don't so yeah, he grabs him a bottle, is like, yeah. And then the guy's like, yeah, starts, sloppily
when the guy
pouring
grabs him, I just reach over and grab two shot glasses because I see they have some down there,
Sure.
and then walk down to the end of the bar. Put the bottle down, uncork it, pour 2 more, or pour 4 if all of them are empty.
Yep.
And I don't even say anything. I just raise it up and fucking shoot it, slam it back down on the table.
I'm making sure that Johnathan has a shot, and then and then also that Jacob has one to sniff.
Like after a minute or two, when he doesn't drink it, and he's like, if he's like visibly sniffing, I don't know. Jesse walked away, so he can't respond. But I'm like, what in the hell are you doing? Drinking ain't a sin.
I don't know. It might be. He seems to have a pretty damn good handle on what is or isn't a sin, and he refuses to drink on the brown. So I'm thinking it's a sin.
Are you sure? I ain't never seen nothing like that in a good book.
It may just be a matter of perspective. I have a feeling that he may be more familiar with the book than maybe any of us.
Are you saying I ain't never read the Bible?
Read? No, I'm not saying that at all. But reading comprehension is a enlightened skill.
Are you calling me dim?
All right, now, mister. I think he's trying to negotiate this here tricky subject, and I think now that Jacob has pulled his head out from sniffing his whiskey there, he can maybe expound a little bit to us exactly why it's a sin.
Well, from what I've been told, imbibing in any impurities that weakens your manner is a sin against the good Lord, so...
There ain't nothing impure in here. It's just a bunch of water and some fermented grain. Grains, God gave us grain so we could make do with what we want to do.
That is an excellent point. And told? I mean, might I ask who would have told you that?
You familiar with the Archangel Michael?
An angel.
Yeah, big guy, 4 wings, big light above his head.
Carries
giant
a sword, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
He's got a big old
See,
sword.
I read the Bible. I know. Michael and his sword.
Right. I can't say that I've had the pleasure. No. I mean...
it ain't no pleasure, trust me. He's a son of a gun.
Well, you almost slipped up there, did you, Jacob?
So
I'll watch it every once in a while.
So just to be clear, then, you're actually communicating with the Almighty and his hosts.
Oh, no. You don't actually talk to God himself. If you did, your head would explode.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. And he'll take another shot.
I pour out another 3.
Yep.
While Jacob is just sniffing.
I take Jacob's shot. I shoot Jacob's shot and push my shot in front of Jacob.
At this point, you're getting comfortable. You see one of the saloon girls. Looks like the madam, or I don't actually know what you call the person in charge of all the saloon.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Yeah.
Comes over, and she makes a pretty prominent beeline up to Johnathan, and is like, "Well, hello there, handsome. You look like the type that doesn't make it into establishments like ours all the time."
Lester, Cyrus, and Jacob all get a box of popcorn.
Jonathan turns and, takes his hat and he bows slightly. He's like, well, no, ma'am, I have to admit that this may be one of my first times in such of an establishment. Thank you. But I will say that as these sort of places go, and as I've read, it is a fine place to be. Thank you.
She's like, fans herself, a saloon virgin. And you see, like, there's like 3 of her girls, like like, ooh. And I'm like, he's so handsome. She's like, well, I have to say, sir, you are a handsome young gentleman, and any of my girls would be honored to show you the ropes of all the entertainment available at our fine establishment. It's only $5 for the whole night. Or if you don't want to be such a big spender, you can spread it around a little. She winks.
He kind of gets like visibly nervous at the kind of looking around. He's like, wow. He's like, I'm sure any man in here would be delighted to spend any time with your girls, ladies. And he kind of like nods to like any of them that are like watching this conversation happen. It's like perhaps in a bit. I just have my new friends and I that have been acquainted. I'm not really sure how things go with the courting in the West as well. So maybe perhaps a little bit later in the evening, I would be delighted to avail them of their services, ma'am.
Oh, well, don't take too long, because a lot of the gentlemen that you see around this room have one too many whiskeys, and their performance is lacking, if you know what I mean. So don't take too long. And she like nods, and one of the girls kind of walks over. She gives you just a kiss on the cheek and is like, I like those boots, honey. I'd love to see them on the side of my bed. And then, she slips you a perfumed handkerchief into your it tucks it into your pocket, and then it's like, just remember me for later.
He'll definitely be like, you can see him blush a little bit, and he's like, I think it would be difficult to forget you. And he like takes her hand and leans down and kisses it as he kind of like moves back towards the bar.
She cocks her head a little, kind of like, I don't understand what just happened here. She is not used to that level of gentlemanship. So yeah, she kind of cocks her head a little, and then sort of scampers away a little bit.
I think Lester calls. I was just gonna say, as she walks away, Lester says, "I believe we need to get a few more drinks in them and loosen them up a little bit."
He kind of turns back to the bar, looks at you, like he pulls the handkerchief out and like examines it for a second, and then he takes another shot, and he's like, Jacob, you might be right. This might be the devil's drink.
Cyrus puts his popcorn down and takes the handkerchief away from Johnathan and dabs his brow. I think you handled that professionally. You did very well, Johnathan. Very good for your first try. And puts another shot in his hand. And then shoots the
Jacob
and pushes my shot in front of Jacob.
Jacob will sincerely put his hand on Jonathan's shoulder, and while staring at the bar, say, Johnny, you're a very nice boy, and I can see that you have been brought up very well. Your parents must be very proud of you. And it's going to be really, really sad when you die out here.
Well, damn, Padre, that ain't nothing to say to a young man.
Well, and he'll at that point stand up and he'll say, look around here. These are a bunch of ne'er-do-wells, a bunch of gunslingers, a bunch of hard... screw it. It's a bunch of hard-ass sons of bitches around here. And he'll, like, cross himself again.
Oh!
I think you've had enough, and I remove his sniffing shot.
He'll say, do you, in all honest regards, believe that this little boy is going to be able to survive out here?
Well, he's gonna have you praying over him, Reverend. I think he might just be okay.
That hasn't
see,
done
he's
the
got-
others much good so far, I'll tell you that.
Well, he's got himself a Tommy Hawk. I think he probably handled himself okay. Of course, bringing Tommy Hawk to a gunfight, I guess it ain't going to help him all too much.
And he'll turn to Johnathan and be like, do you know how to use that thing, or was that little souvenir you picked up on the shop along the way?
He kind of stands up and he's like, I can tell you, Father, that yes, I'm new to your world here, and you know, while a lot of the view of people from where I come from is that we're soft, it's like not everything is exactly what it seems. He's like, I'll be fine in a fight.
I
At that point, he'll actually.
No, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, it's
Nope.
he'll actually at that point grab the handkerchief from Cyrus, right? Walk over to the other side of the bar, and then take his Bowie knife out and stab it up against the bar, against the wall, so that the handkerchief is hanging from the wall now. And he'll look to Johnathan and he'll be like, hit it.
All right. He kind of he unfastens his jacket and takes it off. He takes it off and he looks around for like one of the girls and he's like, "Would you be a dear for a moment and hold that?"
One of the girls at the stairs like takes it and is like, I guess. She's just kind of like, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing.
And he hands her his hat. He hands her his hat as well, and he kind of like fixes his hair. And he's wearing the gun belt. Like I said, it's got his tomahawks behind it, and so he can reach back and grab it. So it sits like kind of the small of his back. So he takes a breath and he draws it and throws.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna need a. Oh, what is? It's ranged
what is
weapon.
this?
You're gonna have to do a ranged weapon at this point. Now, how many drinks have you had? Is it 1 or 2?
I think it's at least
I believe
two.
2.
If it's at least 2, give me a Vigor roll before this.
I got 4. I handed him at least 4.
I want to see how drunk you are. Okay, if you've done 4, then I want to see a Vigor roll -2.
Sorry, Jonathan.
Remember, everyone remember, Benny's replenish every time, and you got 3 of them. So
Got it.
you can Benny whatever you need to.
Hey, I'm watching Deadwood, and they drink all the time, and nobody's ever drunk.
Right? That's just because they're working
How
on
many of
Liverpool.
them
That's how
are
it
as
is.
pure and innocently beautiful as John?
That's the
It's
reason.
also it's
We
also
respect
so
this man.
so from when when the bartender's pouring shots, it's watered down swill.
That's-
But
yes.
at least the last 2 shots have been straight from the bottle.
yeah.
yeah.
Fair enough. So let me ask. So it's my vigor roll. Do I roll the wild dice with that, or is
Yes.
Yep.
Every
Okay.
time. Yep.
got it?
And a -2 since you've had. Well, no, -2 because you've had 4 drinks. I'm going to say that's going to be close to seeing if you're drunk or not.
Okay, that's a 3.
Okay.
Oh,
You're kind of tipsy, so your ranged attack roll is going to be at a -2.
Got it.
the hell did I miss?
He's throwing a fucking tomahawk across the room at the handkerchief that Jacob stuck into the wall. So this is
I'd like
this
to,
is
I'd like to
this is action.
prepare an action. I'm gonna slip my
Sure.
bare knuckle, my brass knuckles on.
Oh, sure. Okay, that's not
you're
a
gonna
bad.
punch Jonathan in the face?
No. Just in case this
Not
goes
sure
wrong.
that's what he's
Just in
worried
case
about.
things go wrong. All right.
Just in case
So,
it goes wrong, goes bad. You know.
so is that a fighting? That's not fighting. What is that?
What is that on the sheet?
Range attack's probably agility and probably fighting, right? I think anything fighting is. Any
is it fighting?
Combat is fighting. Yeah.
I mean, it would be the same thing as if I threw it at a person.
That like
Yeah, I was-
anything.
It would, yeah.
Was like shooting. No, maybe that's the wrong.
Let's go to the book.
Yeah, let's go to
Skills.
Savage Worlds, baby.
The first look up.
to the Savage World book.
It says the shooting skill covers all types of gun,
Yeah.
bow, rocket launchers, and other
shooting.
ranged weapons.
Okay, shooting.
I hope he
Yeah,
has
but
it.
there was a section for there was a section in there that I specifically did not take it.
Oh, you probably
Hold on a second, I'll
have
find
a yeah, I'm sure you have a so yeah, because we're balancing between multiple books, I'm sure as a keymaster you have something that doesn't require you to do that.
No, it was. I think it's Chi.
Keymaster.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes some people pronounce it key instead of chi. I don't ever know which one is correct.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, we gotta find a gatekeeper.
Internal focus, backlash, gifted.
Hold on, mine is running really slow.
So I'm wondering if there's like a
There is something for thrown weapons. because
yeah.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Yeah.
This book is not put together the best. Is the problem?
It's still better than Rogue Trader.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
At least the pages take less than 30 seconds to load.
All right.
We are in the editing section of the podcast.
Cut, snip, 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 snip.
This game's got it.
Here we go. Melee thrown weapons. The thrown or melee weapons. Damn. Oh no, that's just that. So it seems to put them in the same category.
So like you said before, shooting. So like because it's core like, right? So like everything that's missile type weapon, so shooting, bows.
Yeah, I guess you could count it as fighting. Yeah, because that's a thrown weapon. I guess could be seen as sort of melee like.
So a throwing axe, the damage is strength.
Oh, then it must be.
So
Yeah, if it's just strength, then yeah, it must be a fighting.
It's strength plus d6. Yeah.
Yeah. So then it's got to be a. Yeah, I'm sure it's a fighting then.
Throwing grenades, knives, spears, or the other projectile uses the athletics skill.
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. There you go. Athletics.
So
Ooh, everybody gets that.
Athletics it
athletics
out.
then?
I think it's just athletics.
athletics and the wild. Die.
Athletics is
Yep,
agility.
and wild die.
Okay,
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
But there's no like relationship. Like it's just the die, right? There's no. Okay.
Yeah. There's no. Yeah.
There's no,
It's
like,
only.
attribute combining with skill. It's just the die.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And you said -2.
Yep.
That'll make it a 4.
Oh, you hit it!
Oh wait,
Did it?
Ooh.
Oh no!
Hold on.
Because if I roll a 6 on the d6,
You roll
Oh,
again,
it explodes,
and add it.
baby.
Then you can explode.
okay, so add 2 more to that, so 6 total.
Oh,
Total.
okay. So not a raise. You had to get 4+ for a raise, but you
Right.
hit it. You throw it, and it, bam, into. It's not like dead center or anything super cool. Like I don't know. You like do some crazy hit the knife and it flies back into his belt or some crazy shit. Like it just hits. Yeah.
I think we all say
Got it.
"Opa, Opa."
Yeah.
Every old
So yeah, at that point, Jacob will take his Bowie knife out, sheath that, take the axe out, and take the handkerchief, and then walk back over to Johnathan and hand them both to him.
Got it.
And be like, it's a good start.
He'll kind of take it. He'll give you a nod. He slips it back into the little kind of like notch in the holster that he's gotten made for it, and then tucks the handkerchief back in his pocket and turns back to the bar to take his shot.
Well, here.
And at that point, Jacob will look at Lester and Cyrus too, and kind of like give them a nod.
Yeah,
Like,
At this
I would
point,
clink
the guy that had grabbed the bartender before, had is swigging straight out of the whiskey bottle. One of his friends tries to grab it from him, like one of the guys with him, and he like shoves him away and is like, "Get your own damn bottle." He's drunk. He stumbles over and is like,
kidding.
"You now, no offense, Reverend, but I think it's kind of rude someone's to throw an axe at my head in this civilized establishment. I would like an apology from you and your friend, sir."
And he will, at that point, kind of just turn on the stool to look at him. Say, "Now then, if my friend here had actually thrown that at your head, then it would be in your head. So I suggest you go ahead and take your bottle, go join your other compadres, and you go keep on drinking."
Well, it didn't go in my head. And if it had, then my boys would make sure there was a significant amount of lead all in the rest of you. And he like moves his duster over and puts his hand on his revolver, and is like, "I'm just saying that I think an apology would be a great way to smooth things over, or else I might have to make you regret it."
And I'm just saying that there's no harm, so there ain't no foul. So I don't think that you deserve or need an apology from my friend here. And I'm going to guarantee you that that is not a threat that you want to be making right now, son. And at that, he will also... He has like a shorter coat on. And he'll just kind of like toss it aside slightly. No hands on weapons or anything, but just kind of like readjust himself so that it's very clear he can see it, just one of the pistols.
Give me... Do you have intimidation?
No, I have persuasion.
No.
Can I persuade him to not? No.
Yeah, intimidation, I guess.
So a D4 minus 2?
Oh, man. Yeah. But it's
I
an
got my
opposed,
D6 too.
It's an opposed versus his
All right.
spirit, though, so, you know,
And
there's
he's
that.
drunk, he should have a negative, right? Or does that make him more...
It's a great question.
That's
I don't think he is, but
Okay.
yeah, I don't think it gives him a bonus, but
feel
he
like-
is drunk as hell, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 2. Could I just use my spirit instead?
No.
No, all right. Then that's a 2.
Okay.
But did you roll a 4 on your D4, or is that...
No, I rolled a 4 on the 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he rolled a 6. Minus 2. I mean, he's drunk, but he's not that drunk.
Yeah.
At that, we're going to start initiative.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Oh man, he's gonna regret this.
I think he's going to get
I'm
a
sorry.
surprise round because he just fucking tries to cold cock you. No guns.
Just for
This is just a
can I
fist fight. Yeah,
ask a quick question just for
Sure.
the future.
sure.
So when this situation eventually comes up again, this is the type of thing that Cyrus would literally be like moving into position to
Okay.
cold cock this guy before it even like escalated to. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
so just you don't have to do it right now. Just in the future, how do you want me to broach that?
I think
I
yeah,
don't
like
wanna
as
interrupt all that
like
good
whenever
stuff,
he
you know?
did the like persuasion or the intimidation and failed, I think then you could say like before I said like initiative, goes off, you could say like, oh, Cyrus starts moving. Cyrus
well, I
moves
didn't
into strategy position.
I felt awkward trying to.
You can
interrupt
do that.
All that magic. So, but
Well, I mean, also Cyrus, you did say that Cyrus put his
I mean, he put brass knuckles on. He
his
was
brass
kind of
knuckles
ready
on, so
for a
he was
fight.
already ready for a fight.
So listen, a fight is going to happen. I just had a cool way to start it. I thought.
Oh, okay. I mean, well, then you'll both get. We'll do initiative, just you and him, because he's the one starting the fight.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
So
Yeah,
it'll
'cause
be you versus him
Yeah.
to see who gets that first shot.
Okay, I enjoy that. I like that. Well, so what,
So
what
let's.
is-
I'm gonna
what's
deal
happening
onto.
Oh, it's cards. That's right. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It is
deal
cards.
onto the roll 20. Just for at this point, just for you two. Oop, why is it not working? Flip up.
On the left, make sure you're clicked on the select, not the
Oh, I'm on
not the
ruler. That's
measurement.
why.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, he got a 2, and you got a 6. So you're going first, buddy. You're muted.
Sorry. Is there anything that I do just because I've never played the system before? Like, is it literally just card?
It's just the card
Just
is
the cards.
top to bottom initiative order. There's other. If you get like a Joker, everyone gets a Benny. There's stuff like that. If you get an Ace, you get a Benny. I think.
So it's a separate system that exists outside of like the our rolling and whatnot. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So
You go first.
Okay, so I walk up to him and I've got a shot in my hand, and I said, "Gentlemen, this is again we are raising the temperature in this here room, and I just want to. There is a better way to deal with this than everyone's egos getting all hopped up. I want you to take this shot here, and we're going to make amends. And if he takes the shot from me, I'm going to absolutely blister him straight on in the face. It's like I'm distracting him for a second, and I'm going
Yeah.
to in the face.
I mean, I think even if he doesn't take the shot, because he's like ready to attack me,
It doesn't
I can
matter
see
if he takes
Cyrus
the
like
shot or not. Yeah.
holding the shot up and then
Yeah.
dropping it and punching
Yeah.
through.
Like here, take
Yeah.
this shot, and then just like straight.
I think you definitely distract him. He kind of like looks at you like, "What the hell?"
Here. Yeah.
So I think you get the punch in. Like he doesn't get a defense on it either or anything. I would say you don't. Maybe you don't even. He's going to be his parry will be reduced because you do have to hit a. His parry is 5, so that's what you have to do. You have to hit him at a 5. But I'm going to say he's at a -2 because he's drunk and you distracted. Well, he's drunk and distracted him. So yeah, let's say we'll say you only have to get a 3.
How drunk is Cyrus though?
Oh, I do.
It's a great question. Give me a vigor. Give me a vigor minus
Thank
2.
you. Hold on, let me see. I might have a minus to vigor. Do I have a minus to vigor?
Oh
I don't have a
no,
minus to
really?
vigor. No,
I was like,
no. It's spirit. I have funky stuff with my spirit because of my hindrances.
Oh.
Okay, so my vigor
Nice.
is a D8. So I'm rolling a D8 and a D6.
Ooh,
D8,
Right?
D6, and
Both.
take -2
Yep.
because it's a hard. You've been drinking a lot, so it's
you
just
just
weather
hit a
effect.
4.
So I got a 1 on my D8 and a 6 on my D6.
So re-roll
that's
the
a
d6
4.
again. No, but it goes again.
Oh, it goes
Even
again.
though
yeah.
he's at a
it goes
negative,
again.
it's
Yeah,
still
yeah, yeah. It
a-
goes again.
So do I re-roll? I re-roll the D6
Yep.
and I got
Yep.
a 2.
So
Okay.
8 minus
Nice.
2, so you got
6.
a 6.
You are perfectly not affected. You drink enough. You're fine. You don't feel it
bar
at all.
fights, guys. I love bar fights.
Like you are like in the zone. You're like, I'm ready to fuck stuff up.
But John doesn't. So I'm like out of here. Expressed.
Cyrus is just buzzed enough
Yeah.
that a bar fight sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's
Perfect.
happening now. Okay. So what do I do now? Do I roll some
Then you roll fighting
Fighting
Okay, so
plus
what
your
are-
d6.
plus your D6.
Oh, so that was just my drunk roll.
That was
Yeah.
are you drunk?
Yep.
Yes. That because you
Alright.
have no penalty now because you're not drunk.
I love
You're
it.
actually I will give you bonuses to your constitution as well. If you're getting hit, you won't take as much damage because you don't feel it.
Okay, so on my fighting roll, I got a 1 on the D8 and a 3 on the D6.
Okay, so
Ooh.
that will. Well, a 3 does hit him
Hits
because he's
3,
at -2. So I gave him some penalties to parry. So he I mean, it's not the best punch in the world, but you hit him. So that's gonna be whatever your damage is on your brass knuckles.
It's strength plus a D4.
Okay, so you roll your strength plus a D4, add those together, and tell me what the total is.
And that also aces.
Yes, that can also.
Do I
Keep
roll
rolling.
another D6 as well, or is that only for like?
I don't
No,
think you
that's
do.
just for the
yeah,
attack.
just for. You don't do wild on damage. Yeah.
My strength is a D6, and I roll a D4 using my Midwest Resin Geek die.
Ooh,
They're amazing.
nice. Nicely done. Sponsor.
The
Link in the
D6
show
has a
notes.
4, and the D4 has a 1, so a 5 total.
Okay. That's
Is
not
my-
great. You haul off, hit him straight in the jaw with those brass knuckles, and he just looks pissed.
That's how I like them.
His toughness is high enough that actually does not hurt him.
Yeah.
It looks like you hit him pretty hard, but yeah, he doesn't feel it, so he grins, and then he's just gonna haul off on you. As his first, instead of the Reverend, he's gonna go for you.
Good. That's good. I love being here.
He is a D6 fighting, so
This is good.
unfortunately, this guy is a wild card. So he gets a D6.
I love it.
I assume everybody in the theater was a wild card.
Yeah, right. We're in a theater full of
Anyone I named at least, and he has a name.
Oh. Well, so they're not added together, though. So it's high.
Not added together. So he got a 5. What's your parry?
What am I missing?
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Nope, he's in a -2. So he only got a 3.
My parry's a 6.
Okay. So he doesn't actually hit you. Like he swings, but he's pretty drunk. So even though he is pretty ballsy about it, he swings but completely misses you.
I watch his fists go by my face drunkenly, like, oh, that's good.
Now, I will deal everybody's cards for your regular initiative.
Let's go.
Deal all players.
So we do nothing here. We're just waiting for the deal. That's what's happening.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, I got an ace of hearts, baby.
I don't even know what. Is this in the roll 20? Is this somewhere?
Yes,
I mean,
then roll 20. There's a little card above
Ooh, I
your-
got an ace of diamonds.
So it's reverse order, right, Neil?
Yeah, so it's reverse alphabetical.
Wait, what? Reverse alphabetical?
So if people have tied cards, it's reverse alphabetical to break tiebreakers. So
Oh,
heart
it
would
goes
go
by
before
suits.
diamond.
It goes suits, right?
It goes
Oh,
by
suit.
suit, so it
It's
goes
spade,
spades, hearts,
hearts.
diamonds, clubs.
Yes, spades, hearts,
Right,
diamonds.
right.
Yep.
maybe I'm missing.
At this point, it's him and his gang. So I'm gonna.
click on the heart. Click on the card above your profile picture.
It's the little purple square.
Blue bennies all by deck. I see a pink card. What's this thing?
Yeah,
So
John,
click
you want
on
to
the
steal
card,
my
John?
card from me?
No, I didn't know if I. Yeah, I didn't want to do that.
Okay. Yeah. So okay. You know, it doesn't. I don't want to hold it up. All I see is a button that says
So-
steal card.
No, I fucked it up.
God damn
I
it,
was trying to
John!
figure out
Just-
why. Yeah.
Just flip
Yeah, I
your
don't want-
card, John, and then if I wind up stealing it, it's still your card. It's my fault. I clicked on your card because I'm an idiot.
Well, this is probably me. I don't. I when I click on the thing above where I think I am, I guess. Let me make this bigger. Maybe I just don't have it. Yeah, when I click on it, it just brings up a box that says blue bennies on top, and then, oh, well, now it says Jack. It says Jack of Hearts now.
Oh, there you go.
So you're Jack
There you
O'Hart.
go.
Yep.
All right. So we have. Well, yeah. So we have. That would be which one did you get, John? The
I have an ace of heart.
ace of heart, and you had an ace of diamond, Jesse.
Correct.
That's John. Jesse. What was
I've got
other
a-
John's card? Yep, Jonathan, what do you got? Queen of Hearts. Cyrus, what do you got?
Jack of Hearts.
All right, so then it's well, actually, let me go character names. We have Lester.
We got really good.
I know you guys are fucking killing them. Nope.
So what
Jonathan.
did you get, Neil?
I got a 3 of hearts. I'm
So,
doing
nice.
great. I'm doing
So the-
great.
The weird thing is, right? So like I clicked on my card. I guess we'll edit all this out. I clicked on my card,
Sure.
so I see my heart. But none of
You
the
only
other
see
cards
your card.
flipped on my. Yeah, so we don't know who's going.
Yeah, I was gonna try to. No, I think what I need to do is deal them like
where. I see.
above your
Sure.
things so that it's not to you. Then we'd see them all. I'm gonna have all their guys go at once instead of as individuals, like initiatives at this point, but they go last. So,
Right.
that would be Lester's up.
So he sighs, grabs the half bottle, and then moves forward and just swings it and cracks the guy in the head with it.
Ooh.
Nice. Nice.
I don't know what the damage would be for like a half a bottle of whiskey. That's up to D4 maybe.
That's an improvised weapon, so I'll look that up while you're doing your roll. Give me. You haven't done a Vega roll for your.
I have not.
Yeah. So
So
do a
let me-
Vega roll at -2.
I didn't drink as much though. I got a pair of 5, so that would be 3.
Okay, you're at a -2. You're feeling pretty drunk.
All right. I'm surprised by this. So my fighting is a D6, so I got 2D6. And I got a pair of 4, so that's a 2. So I guess I just missed. Like I completely whiffed. The guy staggers back a little bit, and I'm just like, ah.
Yeah, doesn't do it. Doesn't do it.
Staying still. Oh no, wait! I just went full Reggie. Oh shit.
Although, wait, so were you going after him as well? At this point, he does have 3 other guys starting to like. Well, they'd be moving toward you, so
They'd
they're
be
not there
moving,
yet.
right?
They're not there
Yeah,
yet. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy going after my new friend. So
Yeah.
We're all in this together.
It's strength plus D4 is a light improvised weapon. So
that's what I figured. D4. Yeah. So I.
Well, luckily you didn't break the bottle, so you can use it next
yeah,
round.
you still got one. It's totally fine. Didn't do anything. Jacob is up.
All right, so at this,
What was that?
Sorry,
What was
not to
that?
cut you off. Are there ganging up rules? I think there is.
I think there are.
Pack
That's-
tactics.
Yeah, let me.
I guess we should probably like make it. Probably go through and make notes of some stuff that may come up. Like,
I was
frequently.
trying to do
Have
that ahead of time. Yes,
Yeah.
this week was a. I actually I had to call in backup this week, man. I had to have Beth's mom come down because it was a fiasco, my friends.
Yeah.
It was the worst week yet. Like, yeah. It was, she literally didn't, she started a new treatment last week and for 4 days didn't leave the recliner, literally. Like,
Right,
so I was doing everything and I was like, eventually, yeah, so I was like, I need to look at some of these rules. I got several of them, but not the gang up.
No
Up,
worries.
ganging up. Let's see. Gang up, you can flank, exploit, harass a foe. Each adjacent foe who isn't stunned adds +1 to all attackers' fighting rolls up to a +4.
So,
So-
it would only
Oh,
would
wow.
have given me a 2, so I'd have been at a 4, so I still would
Yeah.
have missed.
Yep.
yeah.
All right. Jonathan gets maybe to show some really crazy kung fu action.
Doesn't Jacob go next? He had an ace.
Oh, Jacob, I thought you.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Jacob.
No
Yep,
worries.
Sorry. We
all act before him, so it's fine.
I was talking, so I forgot that you didn't act.
Well, I'm actually not gonna do much right now. Cyrus punched him, Lester is dealing with him. I'm gonna kind of slide to the side, like a little bit down the bar, now behind this guy.
Okay.
And at this point, I'm just going to kind of like adjust my coat so that now both pistols are showing. And I'm going to kind of just rest my hands on my holsters and just look at his other guys and just like shake my head and go,
Okay.
Without intimidation.
Yeah, that's another intimidation is the problem.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm more so trying to persuade them not to attack us.
with guns.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not trying to. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm gonna. I'm kind of saying I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, that's the problem. They know. They know. They aren't. I'm not giving them wild card status, so they're just dudes. They're mooks. So is mooks offensive? I don't know. I don't know anymore. I was like, I don't know if that's an allowed
It's Italian. That's fine. They're.
Well, but, no, I mean, not that it's Italian, but I mean, it's like a, generic, like,
Yeah,
these
like
bad
generic
guys are a
guy.
low level.
Right, yeah.
It's the guy that gets his throat cut
guys
in the
that
movie
can't
and
take
dies.
more than one wound is what I really mean
Right.
Yeah,
in this game.
I think it might even say mooks in the book, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't know. It might.
I mean, this is an aside, but
Sure. What'd you
That
get?
is, I rolled a 6 on the d6, so that explodes. I rolled a 2, so that puts me at a 6 foot with a
Oh.
-2 because it's untrained. That puts me at a 6 intimidation.
We all
Nice.
stop fighting, all of us.
All right. There
Sorry,
are three.
Conrad.
I am gonna roll for each of them, but
That's fine. I can't imagine that these guys are very high in spirit.
You do that.
Spirits, maybe.
They look at each other, like all three of them, like Three Stooges style, look at each other, and you see them sprint out the back toward the back door, like whatever, like the kitchen. Like they look and they're like, and they just sprint.
Nice.
Job done.
Then Johnathan is up.
There we go. All right. So, just so
That's a pretty good intimidation.
activating a power,
Yep.
is that an action?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So that would mean if I activated a power and then threw a punch or something, it would be.
Oh,
multi-action.
wait a minute. Your power, it could be a free action, depending on the power.
Okay.
Let's look, because that would be a different story if it's like
Right,
a
the
thing
power.
that.
That's
The
a
power
horse
is
of a different
smite.
color.
I would assume with the Chi Master that would be the activation would be part of the action, right? Like part of throwing the punch, right?
Yeah.
Feels like. I mean, I could be wrong.
What's the So the
Smite.
power is smite. Oh, that's in that regular book.
It is. Yep. I've got it printed out. It doesn't say. It just says rank novice, PowerPoint 2, range, smart, duration 5, and then it explains what it does.
It does say it's its own action. So it is an action.
Okay.
I mean, at the same time, we do have multi-action.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, you
it
take
would
a
take
penalty.
You would just take a -2.
to everything
Yeah.
if you multi-action. So yes.
All right, we're gonna try it because I'm new and this looks like fun. I'm
Yeah,
gonna try
why
to
not?
activate it first.
Heck yes.
All right, so I rolled a 5, so 3. So it doesn't activate. So I do spend the point, but I'm gonna go ahead and, regardless, I'm gonna try to hit this guy. Come on, bigger numbers. That's a 6. That's a 6.
Nice.
And those keep
Oh!
rolling.
And that's a 3. So,
Nice.
12, 15,
15 minus
Wait,
2.
those-
So,
for the multi-action.
That's a double raise.
Wait. So, but it can only be one die. Like it's the highest out of whichever die explodes. They don't add together.
No, I know that. I
Right,
rolled.
but
I rolled
the
a D8 and a
six is-
D6.
Oh,
and I
you got a
6.
A 6 again? Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
so you
Yeah,
got
and
a
a 3.
15
-2.
So 14.
-2.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's 2 raises, which means
I think that's double damage dice, right?
a raise
extra
gives you an
D6.
extra D6, but that would be 2 D6s.
Yep.
Oh shit.
What is the
You were
damage?
gonna punch the shit out of
This
this
guy's
dude.
gonna get. This is gonna get. Oh, it'll be a hard hit,
So that's gonna be.
and those can explode. So
So I roll a strength plus D4 for my normal unarmed, and then 2D6 on top of that.
Yep.
All right. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 points total.
Oh.
okay. He has a toughness of 6, so or a parry of. Oh no, the toughness in this case. So his parry, you definitely hit him. The toughness of 6 means you hit him, and that's 5 extra, which is a raise, which means he gets an injury. So let me roll on the injury table and see what he gets hurt, because you just really fucked him up.
Oh, and it was a kick too. Like this whole thing starts going
Nice.
down, and like he comes in, and it's like one of the, like just straight front kick, like right into the solar plexus for him.
Oh. Did you
Oh,
and
man.
Cyrus just high-low this dude?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you did.
All right, so it's a 2d6, and it gets a 2. Oh no.
Did you kill him?
No, it's unmentionables. You kick him in the balls.
That's bar fight is
Perfect. It is perfect.
Like so hard, and because at this point I'm gonna say like his guys ran. I mean, this is too good. You hit him so hard that he literally just doubles over and passes out.
I'm pretty sure you exploded one of his testicles.
Well, so it
That's-
says if
yeah.
the injury's permanent, reproduction's out of the question without miracle surgery or magic. I'm going to say this is a temporary. He is a wild card, so it's not a permanent wound. You didn't shoot him, but he has an actual wound injury to his groin.
Yes.
So he's not going to have a good time until he gets that healed. Or heals up from that. But everyone in the bar like bursts out laughing at the guy. Like
Oh, it's
everyone is like because they were being dicks, to people anyway.
Everyone, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a lot like at this point, people like are grabbing you and like help, handing you beers and being like, "Yeah, man, this guy, look at that,"
I look.
So, yeah.
I look at Johnathan. I look down at the guy and I look over at Johnathan. I'm like, that's just not right. You're not supposed to kick a man in the balls. He was an asshole, but that's not fair fighting.
Well, I mean, from my understanding, in the event of a bar fight, the rules seem to go out the window.
I
For
mean,
the
I
sake of
suppose
the
that's a fair
combatants in
point.
this- Right. Far be it from me to ever, err, in this society. But I really felt like the best thing to do would be to put him where he needed to be for now. And I kind of like lean over and like pat him on his head and pull his hat down over his face, and be like, I really am sorry about that.
It's only groans. It's just like, and someone takes his bottle of whiskey that he had and is like, cheers, my friend. And they just walk off with it. It's kind of utter chaos in the celebration now. But yeah, someone does eventually will sort of drag him out onto the bench outside eventually. But yeah.
So I hold up the bottle that I didn't break and I say, well, I guess it's a good thing I didn't break this on him. Drinks on you, Johnny. And I pour out 4 more shots.
I'll I'll kind of make my way through the crowd over to the girl that's still holding my coat and hat.
Oh,
And I'll take my coat from her and put it on, and as I take my hat, I'll like give her like a silver dollar or something, right?
okay.
And be like, thank you so much. Now, if you'll excuse me, apparently we have a celebration to attend. And go back to the bar.
She blushes and is like, you can see me later.
Oh yeah.
Then she clearly bites the silver dollar.
Yeah.
Checks if it's real. It is.
Sticks it in her
She
bodice.
goes off to then she goes to celebrate more.
Fair
It's
enough.
chocolate.
Yeah.
There's many aggressive, dirty pats on backs. We are just dirtying his nice clothes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Big time. Shots coming. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a ton of other stuff that needs to happen here. It just depends if you want.
Oh, I think that Johnathan and the three of
That's
them
a pretty
just get
big-
super drunk.
Yeah, yeah.
But Jacob
playing-
always has a little shot to sniff. He never goes without.
If I was playing a character
got a
with a
system.
different backstory, I would go upstairs. But I don't think that that's in the cards for Lester.
Oh. The other thing was like, there are some other folks that are clearly from the theater. It's just if you wanted to interact. I just randomly put some other folks that you might run into later, or if you just recognize them later, that's fine too. You might just run into them later. It depends on how social you would be with the other folks, but otherwise it would be whenever you're closing up, and then we'd flash to the next morning and figure out where we're going from there.
I feel like we galvanize,
Yeah.
our bonding over this.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like we would keep. Not if anybody walked up to us, I don't think we would like shoo them away. But I don't
No.
feel like any of us would actively go out and pursue someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
thought
the
about it.
feeling
Just
I get.
depends on it depends metagaming wise, like how long do we want to go. I mean, I could throw a couple chit chatty conversations in before we cut to, but
Until we're kicked out.
Yeah, and it's up to you. I mean, we could even cut it here if that's something that you wanted to do, and then pick it up in the morning where we're heading out the next time.
That might not be a
meta-wise,
bad
right?
idea. Yeah.
yeah, that
'cause-
works for me.
Fades out over us cheering and.
I mean, it's a
sniffing
pretty good
and-
day. We got
Right.
some rolls in. Jonathan got to show off that he fucking can kick like a mule.
Very dangerous.
Now everyone's like, wait, maybe this guy isn't. Maybe we do have to worry
He
about
throws
this guy.
axes. He kicks
He did
people
throw-
in the balls.
It was pretty
This
good. It was
is-
very
we're good.
successful. Like people, people. Oh, the other thing. Oh, I forgot that. I forgot to say in the briefing that also sort of when you sort of a retcon for the players is when you are out doing these things like heroing, it is important to like make sure you don't want to be so famous that people recognize you and come after you, but like you
Right,
do
yeah.
want to like spread the word that like this town's safe, hat tip, like because your goal is to sort of bolster people's hopes as well because that drives the stuff back. So you will be
You're
known
all
as-
safe now, thanks to a shadow organization. You won't remember our faces, will you?
Exactly. Yeah.
Have a
So-
good day.
You kind of need to be like, yeah, it's like we solved this problem because we're just like a hero posse that goes around helping for no reason other than the goodness of our hearts. Wink. That's basically what you're basically supposed to be like. We're just good guys fighting the good fight.
Right? Got
It
it.
doesn't matter if we're
Yep.
getting paid or if some place that has ghost rock guns gives us one every now and again or something. We're still doing it, So
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So do we want to end here then?
I'm good with that. If everyone's,
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Yeah.
I think that was a good session.
Cool. So we'll end. So I'll wrap the show up on a meta level here. We'll do all the promo shit, whatever, and then we'll do a post show because it's still kind of early and
Yeah.
do the thing. All right, so I want to thank everybody for watching. We had a lot of fun playing. These are really fun characters. We will never introduce these characters or ourselves again because we never do that. We've been doing this for 7 years, and it's whatever. If you listen, you should probably know what we're doing and who we are, but whatever. There's links in the show notes for all the things. Midwest Resin Geek is Kurt's wife's Etsy store. She makes dice and other resin products that you can purchase, wine toppers, earrings, all different kind of stuff. You can also follow her on Instagram. I don't have a link for that in the show notes, but you'll figure it out if you like the store. Everything is reasonable. We all have dice, or most of us have dice from Midwest Resin Geek. I have a Flyers colored set. Not that anybody cares, but we also patronize as well. Follow the things, do the like buttons, all the things. We do the stuff all the time. We will podcast for spite anyway, but there is a Patreon that's available if anybody wants to throw a couple of shekels our way. And thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace.
Oh, hey, Boston Bonsai Idiots out watching. Great show. Thank you.
God, that's my buddy.
Good night, everybody.